tonight on WVUA 23 News at 5. Straight ahead, a suspect is now behind bars in the shooting death of an Alabama teenager. The latest on the investigation.
And we have some really nice weather right now. I'll keep you updated on that and let you know how it's going to be throughout your weekend.
And a teacher who taught Bible at a Christian school now faces 2 felony charges as he's accused of having sex with one of his students. WVUA 23 News at 5 starts right now.
This is WVUA 23 News at 5.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Avery Boyce.
And I'm Shani Scott. Police arrested a suspect in the fatal shooting of a Central Alabama teen. 16-year-old Dallas B. Johnson was fatally shot on March 7th. On Monday morning, 18-year-old Julian Nakari Spear was arrested and charged with capital murder. Following the arrest, investigators conducted a search of the residence where Spear was located. Guns were located in the search, and investigators say they are currently being tested to see if the guns were used in the shooting. Spears is currently being held at the Talladega County Jail without bond.
A teacher at a Christian school in Mobile County is accused of having sex with a student. Police arrested 44-year-old Jonathan Sowers on 2 felony charges. 1 count is for a school employee sex act and 1 count of school employee sexual contact with a student under 19. Sowers coached at Faith Academy, which is a private Christian school. He taught science and Bible at the school for several years. Mobile County Sheriff's Office uncovered the incident when the parents reached out to police.
She hadn't returned in an hour and a half, so they went out, they found her car, did not find their daughter in the car. They went inside the Walmart, they could not locate their daughter, so they become very concerned and they notified the sheriff's office and wanted to file a missing persons report.
Police found the child walking down Moffett Road and told police she engaged in sexual activities with Sowers. Sowers is fired from Faith Academy and is facing 2 felony charges. If convicted, he could spend up to 40 years in prison. Representative Terry Sewell announced a $6.4 billion from the bipartisan infrastructure law to improve Birmingham Shuttlesworth International Airport. The funding is to make improvements to safety and reliability of the airport's aprons and taxiways to minimize foreign object debris. Sewell says this is another great example of how the infrastructure law is delivering for our communities in Alabama.
Your home may have toxic lead-based paint in it if it was built before 1978. A program funded by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development can help those living in Tuscaloosa remove it. The Tuscaloosa Lead Abatement Program runs through June 2024. Lead is toxic, especially for children, and can cause some major health issues affecting the nervous system, blood, and kidneys. If lead is found in a home, state-certified lead abatement workers will remove it. To apply, call 311 or visit our website, WVUA23.com. We also have the full list of requirements. Now, Grace, how's that weather looking?
Shani, the weather is looking nice right now. Let's take a look at those local temperatures here in Tuscaloosa. So right now we are sitting at a nice 64 degrees in Tuscaloosa and Coker, and we are sitting at 65 degrees in Fayette. So pretty much a wide range of temperatures across Tuscaloosa County, but I'll have more coming up for you in Maine weather.
Thanks, Grace. The U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration issued an alert about the threat of fentanyl mixed with xylazine. Xylazine is a veterinary tranquilizer not approved for human use. The DEA says the 2 combinations can make drug overdoses even deadlier. The White House is looking at xylazine as a potential emerging threat. People who inject xylazine can develop severe skin wounds with the potential of leading to death and amputation. According to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, over 10,000 Americans died from drug poisoning between August 2021 and August 2022, with 66% of deaths involving opioids like fentanyl.
The healthcare system is still not fully recovered from the COVID-19 pandemic, and with this past fall's respiratory surge, parents are struggling to find care for their children. Pediatric beds are facing a shortage because of a combination of staff shortage and overall cost, according to the American Hospital Organization. Only 37% of hospitals offer pediatric care. Experts say the reason is a lack of pediatric doctors and technicians. Lower reimbursement costs for children from Medicaid and increasing mental health issues in children's hospitals sometimes have to put adults in pediatric beds for financial reasons, and children with mental health crisis can stay in emergency departments for weeks or even months. This fills up beds that could have gone to children with other illnesses. Parents are encouraged to contact their child's primary physician first to seek early care.
Starbucks welcomed its new CEO, Laxman Narasimhan, 2 weeks earlier than expected. The new leader steps as the company's under scrutiny, with unionizations happening at nearly 300 locations. The baristas at the coffee giant want a better base pay, plus more respect and leniency in their schedules. Narasimhan will continue former CEO Howard Schultz's reinvention plan that has given workers at non-unionized stores better benefits, a raised wage, and improving stores' equipment. Spring breakers at Miami Beach, Florida, now have an emergency curfew to help bring order back to the tourist spot. Reporter Justin Wilsos joins us now with more on how the crowds created problems and violent situations. Justin?
Thank you, Cheney. Miami Beach's mayor said that they want to shy away from advertising to attract spring breakers, but the crowds came anyways. Now they incorporated a curfew to tamper down the excessive partying. Miami is one of the most popular locations for spring breakers to visit because of its gorgeous weather and chaotic nightlife. Over the weekend, some of the areas in the hot spot turned unmanageable. 2 fatal shootings happened and an excessive amount of crowds flooded the city and streets. Mayor Dan Gelber said large crowds, copious amounts of alcohol, and possibly drugs, plus the presence of guns, fueled the unrest. He said they do not want college-age young adults harming their community any longer.
The only solution at this point is just to stop spring break, which is something I've been trying to do for years, and I hope we can find a way to do it because we don't want a spring break in our city.
Miami also enforced a citywide curfew last year due to similar circumstances. They are hoping the emergency curfew will help the city get the parties under control. Reporting live, I'm Justin Wilson.
Tennessee has become the first state to place restrictions on drag shows and performers. The Senate passed the bill restricting drag shows on March 2nd. And while most new laws wait and take effect the following January, this one was amended to begin on April 1st ahead of Pride Month in June. The ban restricts any public drag show performances where children might see them on public property. While most shows are contained to bars, luncheons, and tight-knit festivals, the ban will alter the way the state celebrates Pride Month, since festivities typically take place on public property and contain many famous drag performances.
A school shooting at a Denver high school left 2 adult faculty members wounded. Denver Mayor Michael Hancock says one victim was in critical condition and the other is stable. The police chief says the male suspect was a student under the age of 18. The suspect fled the scene and a search is underway to find him. One parent says this isn't the first major incident to happen at East High School.
I just want to point out that this is the fourth major incident here at East High. The Denver School Board is failing us, and it's really a problem. We have the shooting involved 3 East students right here at Carla Madsen. They disclaim that, say it's far away. It's school property, basically. It's right in front of the school. Then we have a swatting incident a week later. Then we have the shooting of Luis Garcia, and we just had his funeral on Saturday. How much more is it going to take before people start realizing this place is a ticking time bomb?
School officials plan to implement a controlled release of students once police give them the go-ahead. 2 armed officers will be on campus for the remainder of the year. Straight ahead on the news at 5, federal interest rates are the latest change in the midst of a Silicon Valley Bank fallout. Find out how it could impact your pocketbook.
It's an honor to carry the Olympic torch once in your life, but a local man did it 3 times. Coming up, you'll find out more about how he earned the honor.